Welcome back to Christy TV. The suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan of Kogi Central appears in court today ahead of the trial which commenced today. Why Akpbaio was absent according to the flying news which we are seeing. So the final judgment of this particular case is that this case has been adjourned till June 27th. And now here are some of the tips of what happened in the court. Because if you check, you see that people are almost posting and sharing the same news. It is hard for you to see exactly what happened. So the Federal High Court in Abuja has fixed June 27 to deliver judgment on the contempt claims and preliminary objection in the suit filed by Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, senator representing Kogi Central, challenging her suspension. Defendants in the suit are the Senate Clerk of the National Assembly, Godswill Akpabio, and Chairman of the Senate Committee on Ethics. The Kogi Senator was in court on Tuesday to observe the proceedings. After lawyers of the applicant and defendant identified and adopted their process, Binta Nyako, the presiding judge, ruled that she would deliver judgment on the contempt claims filed by the parties. Nyako said she would also deliver judgment on the preliminary objection filed by the senior president challenging the jurisdiction to entertain the matter. I want to believe that all processes are in. What I'm going to do is to first of all look at the issues of contempt and take a decision on it, she said. Then I will look at the notices of preliminary objection. If they succeed, that is the end of the case. And if they don't, I will look at the originating summons filed by the plaintiff. So before I proceed, court also dismisses Kogi Governor's Chief of Staff suit against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, which an Abuja High Court has dismissed. The enforcement of rights suit filed by Ali Bello, Chief of Staff to the Kogi State Governor, against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Bello had sued Natasha alleging a breach of his privacy after she posted pictures of his house on her ex Twitter handle, which happened on March 15, 2024. He claimed the post violated his right under Section 34, 35, 37, 43, and 44 of the 1999 Constitution and demanded 1 billion naira in damages. However, Justice Silvanus Orji ruled that the house was already in the public space, so the post did not violate privacy. Secondly, there was no proof that EFCC invaded Bello's home due to Natasha's post. And thirdly, the court confirmed Bello owns the property and lives there with his family. The judge criticized Natasha's action as improper, reprehensible, and unconscionable for a sitting senator, but dismissed Bello's claim for an apology and damages. Another news that happened today is that Akpbaio rejected Olisa Agbakoba. No be smarting. Akpbaio said that Ubani, Olisa Agbakoba, is not part of his legal team. This is what Akpbaio tells the court today. As legal battles range on, the senior president at Godswill Akpabio on Monday denied involvement of Chief Olisa Agbakoba and Monday Ubani, both signed in the defense of an alleged unlawful suspension suit filed by Kogi State Senator known as Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Okay, now in case you don't understand what exactly is going on, let me refresh your memory, your mind, so that you understand exactly what is going on. In March, Akpoti-Uduaghan filed a suit to stop the Senate Committee on Ethics and Public Petitions from instituting disciplinary proceedings against her. On March 4th, Obiora Egwuatu, the judge, issued an order restraining the Senate from commencing disciplinary proceedings against Akpoti-Uduaghan following an expert application filed by counsels to the senator. So 2 days after the judgment, the Senate suspended the Kogi senator for 6 months over alleged gross misconduct. So the decision followed the adoption of the report by the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions. Then on March 19th, Egwuatu vacated his March 4th order, restraining the Senate from suspending the Kogi senator. At the resumed court session on March 25, Egwuatu announced his decision to recuse himself from the case after taking the appearance of lawyers for the parties in the suit. He ordered that the case filed be transferred to John T. Soho, the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, for reassignment. The case was then reassigned to Justice Binta Nyako. Not be smart. Natasha is actually winning, because I don't understand why will a senator be suspended by his or her fellow senator simply because she did not follow the rules abiding by senator in terms of submitting petition. You can only caution her, you understand? Rather, so why would you suspend her? Is her work end only in that Senate chamber? She's working for the Kogi Central people. She was elected by Kogi Central people. As a matter of fact, the same way people casted vote for you to be a senator in your own constituents was the same way she was equally elected in her own constituents. So what gives you the impetus, the right to remove Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan? Instead of Senator Akpabio to recuse himself, or let's say step aside for a very long time, for this sexual harassment allegation to be properly, checked by the panels that was elected by our president Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It was only when things we are getting tougher that he now deemed it necessary to step down from these panels. How can you, as someone that is being accused, be the chief judge of the same case that you are accused of? I don't know if you guys are getting what I'm saying. And Natasha alleged that Akpabio harassed him. Akpabio, because of that harassment and petition that Natasha submitted, they now suspend Senator Akpabio and Senator Natasha. And in that effect, Akpabio is still the head of the judge. He is still the one that is taking make una fear God for una life now. So recently, case you don't, in fact, if you have not been watching my video regarding Akpabio and Natasha's case, Akpabio has stepped down from that panel which was set up by Bola Ahmed Tinubu to look into this case between Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and Akpabio. So now, today they went to court being 13th of May 2025. And this case has been adjourned to 12th of June 2025. To my people, as it dey hot, so many things are going on. Like I said, there was a legal battle which ranges on in this particular case between Senator Akpabio, which happens to be the Senate president of the country. This happened yesterday, being Monday, where he denied the involvement of Chief Olisa Agbakoba and Monday Ubani, both signed in the defense of an alleged unlawful suspension suit filed by Kogi State Senator known as Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. So lawyers representing the Senate and Akpabio, who are second and third respondents, respectively, told Justice Bintanyako of a federal high court that the two lawyers being accused of disobeying the orders of the court are not members of the legal team. Akpoti-Uduaghan had dragged the clerk of the Senate, the Senate president of the Senate, and the chairman of the Senate committee on ethics to court over her suspension, like I said earlier, on March 5th. At the regime hearing of the matter on April 4, Justice Nyako had made an order restraining Akpabio Akpoti-Uduaghan as well as their respective lawyers from speaking with the media on the substantive issue and fixed May 12 for hearing of all pending applications. However, before the next adjourned date, the plaintiff wrote a satirical apology letter to the Senate president over her suspension from the Senate, based on her alleged refusal to succumb to sexual overtures from the Senate president. The same letter, which was published on her Facebook page on April 27, has since gone viral on social media spaces. Reacting, the second and third respondents on May 5th brought their respective applications seeking an order of court, directing the suspended senator to delete the viral satirical letter from her Facebook page and also tender an apology to the court for violating the order, barring her from speaking with the media. Akpoti-Uduaghan had, in a counter affidavit filed on May 8, submitted that it was the third defendant who, through his legal representative, Chief Olisa and Monday Ubani, both signed that violated the orders of the court. In defending the satirical letter, the plaintiff argued that whereas the issue before the court centered on her alleged unlawful suspension, her letter addressed to Akpabio and not the court was on her alleged sexual harassment by the Senate president. The suspended senator representing Kogi Central at the National Assembly, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, has equally maintained that her recent satirical letter to the Senate president, Godswill Akpabio, was never in breach of a court order barring parties before the court from speaking with the media. Akpoti-Uduaghan, who made a clarification in a counter affidavit filed in opposition to a motion on notice by Akpabio, pointed out that while the content of her viral letter centered around her sexual harassment allegations against the Senate president, what is before the court is her alleged unlawful suspension from the Senate. The Kogi State Senator had approached the court to restrain the Senate from taking any disciplinary actions against her pending the hearing of a suit against the leadership of the upper chamber. So, responding, Justice Emeka Nwite granted the request on March 4th and summoned the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, amongst others, to appear before the court in respect of the matter. However, the Senate went ahead to suspend Akpoti-Uduaghan for 6 months the following day, March 5th, like I said earlier. Following accusations of bias by Akpabio, Justice Nwite had recused himself from hearing the matter, which was then assigned to Justice Bintanyako. In the 28-paragraph affidavit, the plaintiff claimed that the motion on notice was a strategy by Akpabio to ambush me and forced an adjournment on the court's scheduled proceedings of May 12, 2025, adding that these actions form part of a series of calculated moves by the third defendant to frustrate the judicial process and ensure that I do not return to the Senate, thereby completing the term of my unlawful suspension without judicial resolution. Akpoti-Uduaghan further claimed that Akpabio, by his alleged continued disobedience of court orders while simultaneously seeking to invoke the court's contempt jurisdiction against her, is bringing the institution of the court to odium and undermining public confidence in the administration of justice. That the third defendant application is not only malicious but, if granted, would amount to rewarding contempt, encouraging procedural ambushes, and punishing my constituent by prolonging the void in representation at the Senate, she added. The Kogi Senator accordingly urged the court to reject the application for being incompetent, since it was aimed at gagging her right to freedom of expression and frustrates hearing in her suits before the court. Anyway, my people, this is the outcome of what happened today in the court and yesterday. So what is your opinion regarding this? What do you have to say regarding this? Since this case has been shifted to June 27th, that is next month 27th, for further hearing. And I pray that in all this, that Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan will be restored back, that this suspension will be nullified for her to resume her good work. This woman is really doing a very nice job in Kogi State, which even Akpabio has not even done to the people of Akwa. So why are they in a haste to record their fellow senator? And why is Yaya Bello also interested in forgery of signatures just to ensure that Senator Natasha is being recalled? So you want to continue where you stop from looting? You want to continue from where you stop from fraudulent acts in the Senate and that of the government of Kogi State. Anyway, my lovely people, I love that Natasha is winning, and the case of Ali Bello, suing Natasha and demanding for 1 billion naira for in damages is also nullified. Natasha is now winning. Anyway, this is good news to all lovers of good things and all supporters of our own lovely Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Thank you for watching, and feel free to drop your video in the comment section. If this is your first time coming across our YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe. Turn on the bell button so you always get notified whenever we post our latest content. Christy TV got you covered. Thank you, and feel free to drop your opinion in the comment section.